I am clumsy. Very clumsy. Trying to drink water and spilling it down myself instead is a near daily occurrence. I stub my toes, and I miss a step on the stairs and think my life is about to end.
I almost died. Alright, hold on, babe. Remind me later to film a story time about how I almost died just now.
Once in a while, I'll make a much bigger clumsy oopsie. An oopsie so big that the mental and physical scars are carried with me and will be carried with me forevermore. And I get to share the stories with you. Isn't that just lovely? Last video, I mentioned that I sucked at PE and once fell over twice in the same week. So let's talk about that. My school had a grass field to play football on, but why the f would you play on that when you could run instead on tiny little gravel shards? The UK is wet, and I suppose this meant that there was enough drainage that it was always grippy enough to run on. But we also had a tarmacked playground at the school, so again, why was this the best choice? Anyway, it's Monday morning on the death playground or whatever, and I don't remember what happened, but I managed to fall over as the football comes up to me. I screw myself up a little bit. I have grazed knees, but it's nothing terrible. We have football again on Thursday? That's fine! That's fine! Surely that won't happen again. And so I go to try and stop the ball with my foot, and somehow I roll over it and fall again. But this time, it's way worse. It was kind of on the cusp of maybe needing a hospital visit. My palms looked terrible. One of my knees had a particularly deep cut. I arrived at the nurse's office for the second time that week, and they had to send a cleaner out to follow my path and clean up the, trail I'd left on my way. I don't want to get demonetized for this. And you could tell I'd been running on gravel because I was now running with gravel. I ended up with plasters on both my knees, both my palms, and some more for luck as well. And because I couldn't really bend any of those joints anymore, I was practically waddling everywhere. My knee is still scarred from this 10 years on. Look at it. Oh, this one was quite something. My primary school got some funky fresh new playground equipment, and oh my god, it still exists. Oh no. You see this motherfucker? I have beef with this motherfucker. Now, I'm clumsy, I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. I was 9. Surely I wasn't the only kid who did this. As you can see, it's a collection of segments that can be velcroed together into hot new shapes. Cool! I'm on the playground and I step onto one of these segments, but it's not velcroed to anything, and so it rolls back, I fall forward. I presumably use my arms to break the fall, but what actually happens is I break my arm. In fact, I don't just break my arm, I dislocate it as well, and I had to have it surgically fixed. The highlights reel of all of this was as follows. A nurse at the hospital hypes me up as she puts on my temporary white cast, telling me when I get it changed, I can pick a colour. A doctor says there's no surgery spots available that evening, and so we go home. My family order a kebab. I get a Hawaiian burger, like a burger with a slice of pineapple in it. Insert comment about British food tastes here. The next day, I'm on the children's ward at the hospital waiting for surgery, and I pick up a Where's Wally book from the toy corner, only to find that all of the Wallies have been circled in biro. They draw a big f*** arrow on my arm to show which one needs surgery. Something you know they only do because once upon a time, someone must have operated on the wrong limb.
Oh, you mean your left? Oh no.
I have surgery, I wake up, and the lady next to me in the recovery room tells me she thought I had a tattoo. And a few weeks later, my cast gets changed and I'm informed that they only have white casts available. Liars! They lied to me. My wrist is still a bit weird, but I don't know how much of that is down to the break or because of repetitive strain injury or my hypermobility or what. But look, it clicks when I move it. Yummy. Oh my god, I have so many injuries from cooking. Like, you see this scar here? It turns out my finger wasn't the potato I was cutting. Sometimes it still itches and it's been like 5 years. Most of my cooking injuries have been from burns. I have multiple scars on my arms from bumping them into the edges of the oven while taking food in or out. I still cringe thinking about the injury I'm about to explain though. Ew! Ew. Some recipes call for you to put a frying pan in the oven after searing meat. Like, you cook the meat and then you put the whole pan with the food in it into the oven. And that I did. I seared a steak, I put it straight into the oven, and when it was done, I took it out. No problem. And it took me maybe 5 minutes to forget the pan had been in the oven, and I went to move it. I gripped my hand very firmly around the handle. The over 100 degrees Celsius handle. Oh, it makes me cringe so much. Ew! Ew! It didn't actually leave much damage though. I first aided myself really quickly and responsibly, and oh my god, please learn basic first aid. I think if I had acted slower, I would have had much worse wounds. I was able to use my hand more or less again as normal only about 12 hours after, which was great. I had a long list of things to terraform in Minecraft. So what can we learn from this? If you're clumsy, like me, just do nothing ever, and you'll be fine. Responsible advice. I'm sure compared to some of you, these injuries are mild. And to that, I say, skill issue. And did you know I have merch? Use the link in my bio or in the corner right now to check those out. I stream multiple times a week. I upload videos every 2 to 3 weeks or so. Yeah. See you soon. Let's f***ing go. I should get a bit closer then. Oh. Are you ready to go? Get that bitch in the water. Oh, you jumped out. If I had acted slower, I would have had much worse wounds. I was able to use my hand.